check it out. Hey YouTube, welcome to my second video for my channel. Check it out. What we're going to work on today with the nunchucks is just one more technique, a pass, and one redirect. And we're going to try to keep it simple. But before we do that, on every video I would like to go over what we did on the last video and then try to build on that as we go. On the previous video we started out with the rear spin, the forward spin, in the figure eight with a catch. Spin, spin, catch, spin, stop, figure eight, and catch. Now, as I said before, we were stopping and going left to right by switching hands like this. What this next technique that I'm going to show you is going to do, it's going to allow you to be able to go from left to right, right to left, without doing this. It'll be a pass. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out in front of us. I'm going to drop the nunchucks out in front like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this one up and over the shoulder. And as we do that, we're going to bring this hand underneath and catch this stick. So it's going to come up and over and catch. Okay, once again, up, over, and catch, like this. Now, one of the tricks to this, and some of it's just from practice and experience, is don't go wide and don't go too much of an angle towards your head, or you're going to end up hitting your back. Keep your hand up right behind you, like this, and when it comes around, you'll be ready to catch it. Now, at first, that's not going to be easy. At first, you're probably going to be bouncing off. You might be bouncing off here before you get the feel for it. That's okay. Just keep working it and you'll get it. So, hanging down, straight up, over, like that. Now, we call it a pass because we're going to pass it from one side to the other. To do that, we're going to drop the top one. Bring it up across our body this way and over the other shoulder. Like that. So drop the top one. We're going to bring it up and over. Bring this hand down and underneath. Like that right there. And then it's just a constant motion from there. Like that. Now, I would like to point out that this right here, this tight chain, it's a little difficult to get in the beginning, but I think that this tight chain helps to set up different techniques later on. So if you can think about that in the beginning, like this, not like this, but like that, then your overall technique will be good right from the beginning. Now, this motion is actually one of the basics that works well in conjunction with the first ones that we did. For example, the downward figure eight to an underarm catch. Now, before we were just kind of dropping it or going into the other helicopter spin, but now you have the downward figure eight, you catch it, and now you just let go of it and bring it over your arm like this. Then you can switch to the other side, let go of the bottom one so that you can come over with a downward figure eight and catch it. Let the one under your armpit go, swing it up over your arm bring it over to the other arm if you like. Let go of the one underneath. Come over the top into a downward figure eight, and then catch it. Now when I was talking about the tight chain in this motion, that also applies right here. So that when you finish this motion, put a little bit of tension on this chain right here. So that it's not doing this right here. Keep a little tension on it. All right. So now you have a downward figure eight into a catch, straight up, change, downward figure eight, catch, over, switch, downward figure eight. And then from here, you can also do your spins and go up and over the shoulder. Let go of this top one, go right into a spin on the other side. Bring it over, do your spin. Up over the shoulder, and then back over and under the arm. This right here is a good exercise in itself to understand the catch. Bring it just right straight up like this, and instead of passing it, just bring it right back over and underneath the armpit to practice. Up, over, up, over, up, over. The same thing here. Up, over, up, over, up, catch. If you want to switch, catch, switch, switch, switch. Now with this technique, there are two redirects that we can use. With a lot of the techniques, there are ways to redirect, but this one we're going to look at two of them. The first one is when you're coming up over the shoulder like this, you don't necessarily have to catch it. You can bring it over and then bounce it off your shoulder like this. Now when you do this, like any redirect, you don't want to use the stick, the hard part of the stick, to try to just bang on the back of your shoulder, because after a while that's going to get really, really sore. You want to use the chain right where the chain meets the stick, right in here, so that when it wraps around like that, you're not hitting yourself with the stick. All right, so when you're coming up over the shoulder here, you're letting that chain kind of wrap around, and it's taking a lot of that off of there. And as you were watching me do that, you saw the second redirect, and it is from under the armpit. I've showed you how to catch it, but to be faster and to move from one technique to another, you can redirect from here as well. Let's say we're doing a downward figure eight, like so. You can catch it, and that's cool. Or you can do your downward figure eight, redirect, go right up to the top, like this. Or downward figure eight, redirect, redirect, back down. And that is a good way to practice that from this position right here, is just to bring it up, bounce it, back down, bounce, 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 catch. Up, switch to the other side, and do the same thing. Try not to get in the habit of putting your arms way out when you're doing this stuff. All right, that's not good technique. You want to try to keep it in close. And practice your switches. Nice and slow. Get a good rhythm going. Make them smooth. Well, when I'm doing this, if you notice, I use my hand right up underneath my tricep when I'm catching. That acts kind of like a stopper for me. It lets me know if I'm in the right place or not. Okay, and once again, this is what we got now. The downward figure eight, bounce, bounce, switch, downward figure eight, bounce, bounce, downward figure eight, catch. The really nice thing about the nunchucks is that even though I'm showing you separate techniques, there's no set way to do these. So as you're learning them, feel free to combine them. I will try my best to try to show you different ways that the movements work together, but you can be as creative as you want to, as long as the techniques are smooth, they're not choppy, and everything's nice and fluid. Freestyle, nunchucks is my favorite way to work techniques, and that is basically the way that I teach. So once again, take your time and have fun with this, and I'll see you on the next one. Check it out.